Today we're going to be taking a look at 75378 BARC Speeder Escape. This set will be releasing on May 1st, 2024 with 221 pieces and a retail price of $30 US. And as you can see here, it includes the pretty hyped up Keller and Beck minifigure as well as two 501st Clone Troopers and Grogu, of course. Also, one thing you might notice about the box is that so far this has only been the second set released this year that does not have any type of 25th anniversary art. It's just the normal stripe art that we've been getting for the past few years. Anyways, on the back of the box, you're going to find a nice render of the set along with a few of the play features, and then actually opening up the box and digging in on the inside, you're going to find 3 numbered bags as well as your instruction manual and a sticker sheet with only 4 stickers. Taking a look at the minifigures, first up here we have the two 501st Troopers, which are technically exclusive, I'm pretty sure, because LEGO has never made just plain 501st Troopers with helmet holes. They've made ones that had printed commas and helmet attachments, but these are the first ones they've made with the helmet holes that are just plain. And speaking of the helmet holes, I don't think they're noticeable on these guys at all. I've said time and time again that the helmet holes are only noticeable to me, at least, depending on the helmet printing, and these guys have really good helmet printing that I think takes away from the helmet holes pretty well, unlike on other troopers. And then next up here we have Keller and Beck, who looks really good. He's a pretty unique character that I'm happy that LEGO decided to make because it never hurts to get more Jedi, and he also includes 2 lightsabers, which looks really cool to me because honestly I forgot that he used 2 lightsabers in the scene. And then lastly here we have the tiny Grogu minifigure. This is the same Grogu that we have been getting for a while. There's not a lot to see here. Overall, this minifigure lineup is pretty much perfect. It's every character that's in the scene that this set is based off of, and I'm really happy that we actually ended up getting 501st Troopers in this set because the original rumors said that we were going to get Shock Troopers, and Shock Troopers would have just not fit this set because they weren't even in the scene. Now moving on to the actual builds themselves, first up here we have the lamp that everyone has been memeing online, and despite the attention that is surrounding this thing, it's pretty simple. There's not much going on at all, and honestly, if anything, this was just included as a poor excuse for LEGO to bump this set up to $30 when it could have been $25. Anyways, here's the actual speeder, and I think it looks pretty good. I love the colors on it, although I think the proportions are a bit off. I think the main sort of stem on the speeder is just a bit too long, and also this area in the front with the stud shooters and the fins is just a bit too wide. It just makes the whole thing look a bit disproportional, but regardless, speaking of the front area, there are some fins here and some stud shooters that you can fire as you please, and that will shoot across the room and get lost. And then at the back, there is some nice detailing with 2 stickers that I did a pretty poor job at putting on, as well as some more fins and some nice shaping, and 2 little red transparent pieces that are supposed to represent the engines, which I think look pretty good. The sidecar is connected by these 2 hinges, which if you want allows for it to move up and down. It's not supposed to do this, but I mean it's there if you want to do it. And speaking of the sidecar itself, it also looks pretty good. As you can see, it has some nice shaping and Grogu's little pod is in there, and on the front there is another sticker as well as this curved tile piece that can slightly move forward and backwards. As you'd expect, you can put Keller and Beck in the main driver's seat and Grogu in his little pod, and it looks really cool, although unfortunately, as you can see, there's nowhere to put Keller and Beck's lightsabers, but that's not that big of a deal to me at least. Now Grogu's little pod can actually pop out, and there is this little clear transparent piece that attaches to the bottom of it so that it can sit upright and sort of appear like it's floating. I think it gives off the effect pretty well, and left behind in the sidecar is a pretty open space where if you wanted to, you can grab both of your clone troopers and actually fit them in the BARC speeder as well. And honestly, I think this looks really awesome, and they look a lot cooler in the speeder than Keller and Beck and Grogu do, although like I said, the sidecar is made for Grogu's pod, so it's just a bit too big for the clone trooper, but it doesn't look bad. Now overall, I think this is a pretty solid playset, although $30 is kind of pushing it for me at least, especially since we currently have the Clone and Droid Battle Pack on shelves right now for $30 as well, which is just a way better value. If I had to recommend one of these 2 sets, it would easily be the Clone and Droids Battle Pack, but I mean if you already have that set, this one is not a bad option either. I've also seen some people online mentioning army building with this set because of the 2 501st Troopers, and I have to say for $30 and only getting 2 of these 501st Troopers, it is not a good army builder at all. I think you should strictly buy this as a playset because that's what it's meant for, and honestly, me personally, I would in no way recommend trying to army build with this unless you can find it for at least under $25, preferably around $20. Anyways, like I said, I think the speeder is a bit disproportional, and I also think $30 is pushing it just a tad bit for me at least, whereas everything else is pretty good, so I'm feeling a pretty solid 8.9 out of 10 for this set. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments below. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and if you want to check out more of my videos, you can see them on the screen right now.